I'm a rabbit farmer. Of course, we set production goals. Hey YouTube, what's up? It's your boy Sean Austin here again from Sean's Rabbit Trainer Aquaponics Produce, and we back with another rabbit farming video for you guys. Guys, today we're gonna keep it short and sweet. You know, as you saw the intro, we're talking a little bit about production goals. So today we're gonna talk a little bit about your short-term goals if you're getting into rabbit farming. So yeah, let's see how that goes. Okay, now the first advice I always give to persons who want to get into rabbit farming is to start small. Okay, now you might question that. You might say, why? I have the finances, I want to start big, why not start big? Okay, number of things. First of all, if you want to start big, let's say you want to start with 30 breeding doors. I don't think you're going to find anyone who is able at any one time to supply you with 30 breeding doors. Okay, you're probably gonna have to get 30 young rabbits, so you're gonna have to grow out and eventually use them as breeding doors. But again, you have no guarantees with any of them, unless of course you want to hit up 5 or 6 different persons for 5 or 6 breeding doors to make up the 30. Fine, you could do that, but then there's the issue of the learning curve. Okay guys, you have to be careful. Don't jump into rabbit farming without first gaining some knowledge. Okay, that's why it's important to start small, because if you have 2 or 3 rabbits and something goes wrong, it's not as catastrophic as if you have 30, 40 rabbits and something goes wrong. Remember too, the bigger your rabbitry becomes, your problems multiply. Okay, I mean the intensity of the problem multiplies. Because if you have an outbreak of some kind of disease and you lose 2 rabbits, okay. But if you have an outbreak and you lose 40, 50 rabbits, that's something completely different. So I think it's important that you start small, get to know your rabbits, get to know develop your own style and method of dealing with them and controlling diseases and all these different little things that you need to learn before you jump head first into it. And then you grow into it, and you'll be more confident as time goes by and you increase your numbers. Okay, so take note of that. Okay, so what do I mean when I say start small? Okay, now it's advisable if you're starting out, you start with probably 2 does and 1 buck. That's what I told people in the past. Okay, you start with 2 does, 1 buck, or 3 does and 1 buck. But you know, the thing about agriculture and life in general, a lot of things change as time goes by, and you have to change with the times in order to keep up. So what we've noticed in the recent past is that you have a lot of instances of buck sterility because of the heat that we're dealing with. This has been probably the 3rd or 4th dry season in a row where we've had some extremely high temperatures for extremely long periods of time, and it's affecting the animals. So it has an impact on your ability to maintain a level of production. So with that in mind now, I would recommend that you have 2 bucks instead of 1, because if you have sterility with one, you may have luck with the other one, as well as, apart from sterility, some animals just aren't good producers. Okay, it might just be in their nature to be a low-level producer, and you will have to replace them. But if you have 2 bucks, then you have a backup and you have time that you can replace that second buck while you have one working. So now, if I'm telling you start small, I would say start with 2 does and 2 bucks, or 3 does and 2 bucks. Okay guys, so now we're going to talk about the goals that I mentioned earlier. And I'm going to keep it simple. I'm going to overwhelm you. I'm going to give you 2 goals that you need to focus on as you begin your journey in rabbit farming. Now, we already spoke about starting small. So your first goal is to gradually increase your numbers. When I say gradually increase, I mean you're increasing at a rate that you can continue to be effective. Now, you know your schedule, you know your resources that you're working with. So don't rush to overwhelm yourself, because remember, there's a recurring expense of feed every day, every week, every month. And at the beginning, that feed cost is going to be coming out of your current income. So you have to keep that in mind. Okay, so gradually increase. So by that I mean, to give you an example, you have 2 does you're starting off with, or maybe 3 does. You breed all of them at the same time, I recommend, or within a day of each other. It helps to balance litters, so you can foster some in cases where one of them was weak, one was strong. Let's say one made 11 and one made 3, one made 6. The one that made 11, you can balance out those litters and probably give each of them 5 or 6 to grow them out. Okay, now fostering is a whole nother issue. We have another video on that. If you haven't seen our video on fostering, I'll leave the link in the description below. Definitely go and check that video out. Okay, but you have 3 does, you've bred them all, and each of them kindle. So from this now, I can give you a little gauge that you're working with. If your doe kindles 6 or more, you can probably keep the best 2 does from the litter. If they kindle less than 6, you keep 1, the best doe, from the litter. Now, you might ask, why not keep all the does since we're trying to increase? But remember, you want to increase at a gradual pace, and also at a pace that makes sense. You don't just want to have numbers for having numbers' sake. Okay? Because again, remember, you have to feed these rabbits every day. So it's far better to have 6 really good functioning does than to have 20 does and only 6 functioning at an acceptable rate. The other 12 or 10 that mediocre, that making litters of 3 and 4 and things like that, they're eating the same amount of feed as the ones that are giving you 8, 9 and 10 for less return. So you have to, as they say, make it make sense. Okay, so it's better to have a smaller number of high producing does than to have a large number of mediocre does. So you don't want to keep those just for keeping those sake, to say, well, hey, I will have plenty does. You know, it doesn't make monetary sense to just have excess animals. Okay, you want high producing animals. So that's why I say keep the best and call the rest. It's another video you should check out. I'll leave the link in the description below. So yeah, goal number 1, gradually increase. Kindling 6 or more, keep the best 2. If she kindles less than 6, keep the best 1. Okay, second and final goal for today. Like I say, I'm keeping it simple. We're going to take this thing in little stages. They say, what's the best way to eat an elephant? 1 bite at a time. So we're taking 2 little bites today, and we'll continue as we go along. So the second goal, and a very important goal, is to get to a point where the rabbits support themselves. What do I mean by that? Remember I said earlier, you are the rabbitry more or less, in a sense, in terms of labor. You doing all the work. So at the beginning, you could absorb that cost because here what? This is a long-term venture you're getting into. But there's an expense that you can't escape, and that is your feed cost. Okay? You're going to have to purchase feed. So your goal must be to bring your rabbitry to a point where it's producing enough money to buy feed to support itself. Right? So you're just starting out. Let's say a bag of feed is $230. As of right now, I think that's the price. $230 TT for a bag, 100-pound bag of feed. Okay? And You have 4 rabbits, so that's 1600 ounces, which is 400 ounces per rabbit, and 4 ounces per rabbit per day. That's 100 days that bag of feed is going to last you with 4 rabbits. Now it's not going to be exactly 100 days because you're going to be feeding litters as well, but at the end of the day you're looking at well over 2 months that feed is going to last. Do I recommend buying feed and keeping it that long? No, I don't. So in the beginning you should probably look for half bags, or if you know another small farmer like yourself, you could put up with them, buy a 100-pound bag, split it half, and so you don't have feed remaining on your hand too long, you know, to develop mold and different things like that. And we know some of the feed sometimes we get is not the best. It breaks down over time, you get a lot of dust. The rabbits don't eat the dust, so you end up with wastage. What I'm saying now is get your rabbitry to a point where you're bringing in enough income to support it. So $230 for a bag of feed. You can sell a fryer on average between 130 to 150, maybe more, but we're being conservative with our numbers, okay? Because a 5-pound rabbit after culling is going to give you 3 pounds of meat. 3 pounds of meat at $45 is $135, I believe, if my math correct. Okay, so we're looking at between 130 and 150 for sale of a fryer. So you only need to sell 2 fryers to cover the cost of a bag of feed. So that's your goal, and that should be easy because you can sell your rabbit meat to your relatives, your family, your co-workers, your neighbors. Okay, that's your goal at the beginning. You want to sell 2 rabbits at the beginning, minimum. Now, I'm not saying aim for 2, you know. You're aiming for as much as possible, but minimum you want to sell 2 rabbits to cover the cost of your feed, and before long you're going to start recording some profit as well. But your initial goal must be to cover that feed cost. So guys, giving you all goal here, you know. Hope you all appreciate the information, right? This is born from our many years of experience in rabbit farming, myself and my business partner Sean, and we are committed to giving back to the community and helping others to succeed as well. So I really hope that you all appreciate this information. If you do appreciate this information, give this video a thumbs up right now before you leave. Don't forget, because it helps us when you hit the like button. It lets the algorithm know that this is content that you like and you want to see more of, so they're going to bring it to you whenever we upload new content. It's going to show up in your feed a lot higher. So if it's your first time pulling up though and you enjoyed this video, go ahead right now and subscribe, because we bring you a lot of information. Plus we have over 100 videos that we've already posted that you can go back and look through and gain a lot of information. Okay, so guys, thanks for supporting us as usual. We're happy to be here with you guys. We're on the road to 10,000 subscribers. We're just over 6,000 right now. So like, subscribe, share this with someone else who you think would be interested. Help us to hit that mark at 10,000. And like I said, when we hit that mark, we will be doing a nice giveaway for some of our followers. Before I forget, I want to send a shout out to one of our followers, a guy out in the USA there. I think it's Southern California, Malanos, I believe. I hope I didn't butcher that name, but he's one of our avid followers who always likes and comments on our videos, you know. So it's good to have that interaction with you also. Leave a comment, ask questions, I'll deal with it in a subsequent video. And as always, thanks for tuning in. So I'm going to leave it there for today. On behalf of myself and my business partner, Sean McLean, Sean's Rabbit Aquaponic Produce, signing out. See you guys in the next video. Peace.